What is going on, guys? I'm your host Francis Beau, here to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on anything going on in the world of entertainment. And there's nothing really going on in the world of movie news right now. Um, of course, the one thing that's being talked about right now is Blade Runner 2049, the highly anticipated sequel to Blade Runner. The film comes out next week, but reviews have already been spewing out on the internet, and I have not read a single one. I've only read one review, and they've said that the film is awesome. That's all I heard. All right, I haven't heard anything else. So please do not spoil this movie for me because I really, really want to go into this movie without knowing anything. And yeah, in this video, it's all about Blade Runner 2049. We're going to talk about this film, and mainly we're going to talk about the top 5 things that you should know about Blade Runner 2049 before you go watch it. And I did the same thing for It a few weeks ago. A lot of you guys really liked that video. It got over 1,000 views. Thank you guys for watching that video. So I figured let's do it for Blade Runner 2049. I didn't do it for Kingsman just because I just was a little bit busy. So I do apologize if you guys were expecting a top 5 things you should know video for Kingsman. I just didn't get around to it, so I do apologize. But definitely doing one for Blade Runner. So let's get into it. So here are the top 5 things that you should know about Blade Runner 2049 before you go watch the film. So, alright, the first thing that you should know about Blade Runner 2049 is, of course, that it takes place 30 years after the original Blade Runner. The first Blade Runner, if I'm not mistaken, took place in 2019. I think that's the year, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, this film takes place in 2049. Definitely go check out the first Blade Runner. I have not personally seen the first Blade Runner, so I definitely will be checking it out very, very soon. But according to interviews that I've heard about Blade Runner 2049, apparently it's supposed to be a very standalone film. I've not seen the film for myself, but I'm just going on based on interviews. So, maybe you won't have to watch the original, but I think it's still worth checking out because it's a very, very important movie in terms of sci-fi, from what I heard. So, I'm definitely going to go check it out very, very soon, but just to let you know, it does take place 30 years after the original, and definitely check out the first Blade Runner when you get a chance to. I'm definitely going to check it out very, very soon, but as I said, in interviews that I've heard so far, the film Blade Runner 2049 is supposed to be a standalone film. Like it could stand on its own, but we'll see. I'm just going off of reports. So, the second thing that you should know about the movie is that the movie was always meant to be R-rated. Okay. Yeah, I know that the original Blade Runner. I think the original Blade Runner was rated PG-13, if I'm not mistaken. PG-13, I could be wrong. It could have been rated R. Let me know in the comment section below. Was Blade Runner rated R? Let me know. But the movie Blade Runner 2049 was always meant to be rated R. Since day one, they were going for an R rating. And rightfully so. I think the film definitely needs to be rated R because there's going to be a lot of action, there's going to be a lot of suspenseful moments. It definitely needs that R rating. Hopefully they use that R rating very, very well. Kind of like It did, because I think It really used the R rating very, very well. Hopefully Blade Runner 2049 does the same exact thing. Hopefully they use the R rating very, very... Very, very integrated into the film. We'll say that. So, you also have to consider the director that's on this project. Denis Villeneuve. I can't pronounce his last name, but he's the one who directed Prisoners and Arrival. Prisoners was R-rated, but Arrival was his only PG-13 film that he's made. Which, by the way, Arrival is freaking amazing. My favorite film of last year. So make sure you guys go check out some of his work because he's done some fantastic work. Prisoners was also a great film as well. So definitely check out that film, those films, because they're great. They're really great films. Number 3, the third thing they should know about this movie is that Hans Zimmer himself is the composer for this film. So if you guys have been hearing all those cool background sounds and in the trailers, or hearing some cool soundtracks, and you're wondering who the heck is doing all these soundtracks, that's Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer also did the soundtrack for Dunkirk, which I thought was pretty good. So very, very interested to see what he does with Blade Runner. Very interested to see like the soundtrack that he provides for Blade Runner 2049. And very, very excited. Very, very excited to know that Hans Zimmer is the composer for this film. So that's number 3. And number 4, the fourth thing that you should know about the film is that Ridley Scott is back as a producer. Ridley Scott is back as a producer. He was the original director of the first Blade Runner, but he has returned as executive producer for Blade Runner 2049. And according to reports, he had heavy, heavy involvement in making this film. So it's not like he was just there just to monitor things. He had a lot of involvement in the film. So, yeah, it's nice to know that Ridley Scott returned. And Ridley Scott's been doing a lot of producing lately. He did producing for this film. He has another film from Sony coming out. And also, he's doing producing work for Murder on the Orient Express. Ridley Scott, you're making your rounds with producing, which I don't mind. So, the one film that you directed this year, Alien Covenant, pretty good job. Pretty good job. And the last thing, in my opinion, the most important thing about this movie, number 5, this is the longest blockbuster to come out since Interstellar. And what I mean by that is that the length of the film. Blade Runner 2049 has been confirmed to be over 2.5 hours, specifically 2 hours and 45 minutes. And the director has stated that whatever you see in the film, that is it. There's not going to be any extended cut or special features or deleted scenes. Well, there might be some deleted scenes, but everything that you see on screen is the final product. There's no scenes that are to be saved for an exclusive cut or anything like that. What you see on screen is what you're getting. And yeah, it's a long, long movie. Yeah, I know that there have been probably films longer than this, but it's the longest blockbuster, to come out since Interstellar. So Interstellar came out in 2014. So yeah, those are the top 5 things that you should know about Blade Runner 2049. I am very, very excited to see Blade Runner 2049. This looks absolutely breathtaking to look at. The cast is perfect. Just very, very excited to see this movie, and cannot wait to do my review. So that is it for this video. Let me know, are you guys excited for Blade Runner 2049? What are you guys looking forward to most in this film? And did you watch the original? Let me know your thoughts about the original in the comment section below. And that's it for this top 5 list. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, as we end these videos, Beau out. See you next time. Peace.